Hello, YouTube and Facebook. We are back once again. We are back with another live episode from Golf Cart Garage. I am Tim. I'm a part of the Gearheads on Demand service that we offer at Golf Cart Garage, where you can actually schedule a phone call with me, and I'll call you and speak to you one-on-one about your golf cart issue, see if I can help you. I might be able to help you out with something, might be able to save you some money. If you're interested in that service, click on the link in the description. Like I said, we are live right now on Facebook and YouTube. Let me look at make sure everything is working right. Looks like it is. Everything seems to be cooking along. We are going to go over some regular questions today, and we will most likely will interact with some people in the live chat also. We get a lot of different people in here every week. We come here live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Let's see here. If you'd like to follow us on any of the other platforms that we're involved with, go ahead. There's the links. I'm running them right now for Instagram and TikTok and anywhere else you would like. If you like this content, please like and subscribe always. That always helps. Let's see. If you joined us last episode, you saw that I gave away some prizes or some swag or a bag of swag to someone, included the Golf Cart Garage hat. In fact, I think he got this color. We'll see if he's into the chat today. Anyway, you never know when I'm going to do something like that again. Let's see. That's why you got to come here every week to see. You never know when it's going to happen. Tuesday and Thursday, 12 noon Central Time. All right, let's get started with the regular questions. Okay, question number one. I have a 36-volt DS and want to lift it by 3 inches, but I was told I should not have it lifted because the bigger tires will overload the 36-volt system. Is this true? Well, I'd have one question. Before I can answer that question accurately, I've got one question. The question would be, the 36-volt system you're talking about, is it a resistor system or a controller system? Because there's a ton of lifted 36-volt cars out there that are controller cars, you know, that don't have the hot coil resistors. Now, I would not recommend lifting a resistor system. You know, the resistor systems were 36 volts, you know, back in the day. So if it's a resistor system, I wouldn't do it, because for this reason only. Even when those are not lifted, even when that resistor system is not lifted, those resistors get put under a strain. They glow red hot, even when they're not lifted. So when you put a lift kit on it, it's only going to exaggerate that situation. So it's going to you're going to catch something on fire. I mean, you're going to get them so hot, you know, that you'll catch something on fire with that, because they can catch dry grass on fire just using them normally. So 36-volt controller system, yeah, you can put a lift kit on it. I wouldn't go too far on the tires, but you can always compensate for it. It's not the lift itself. You said you was going to lift it by 3 inches. It's not the lift itself. It's the taller tires that it actually puts more of a strain. But you could compensate by putting a bigger controller in there, and you'd be fine. Let's see. Not showing anything on there for some reason. All right, number 2. I have a stock 2016 Club Car Precedent that I use for golf. Of course, our course is very bumpy. I'm looking for ways to create a smoother ride. Would replacing the stock leaf springs with a heavy duty help or make it worse due to their stiffness? Generally, I drive alone with no passengers and have 2 lithium batteries, so the cart is a bit lighter than normal. Any other suggestions for creating a smoother ride? Well, you definitely have a couple of things, you know, not in your favor there. One of them is that you ride by yourself a lot, and then also, like you said, you've got the lithium battery, so your car is even lighter, so your suspension is going to feel stiffer. because of those two things. I don't know why there's not a softer suspension. There's going to have to be in the future because of all the lithium, because I get this question a lot. People that have switched to lithium and now their cart ride's rough. Well, it's because they lost 300 pounds in their, so definitely don't switch to heavy duty suspension. That's definitely going to make it worse. I'm getting a notice here that there are folks commenting on YouTube and I can't see them. Let me see. I see that I have viewers, but I do not see them for some reason. I don't know what the deal is there. Everything else seems perfectly normal. Just I'm not seeing the people on YouTube. So if I'm not responding to what you're saying, well, that's the reason. It says I have good connection, excellent connection. I don't know, guys. I am definitely not seeing y'all. I'm getting another message. Oh, okay. Rock Dog is on there. See, what's up, Rock Dog? Rock Dog is the winner of the hat last week, and he stopped in. Yep, and it's the color that I've got today. That's cool. Thanks for coming by, man. I can't see you on YouTube. I'm actually having to look on my phone to see the comments. Let's see. Kirk Bauer, hey Tim, throw my name into swag. Were you here last episode, Kirk? That would be my question to you, because if you were here last episode, your name did get thrown into it. Gene Hanson, what's up, Gene? Ricky Smith, what's up, Ricky? Rock Dogs asked, "Can you see us?" And the answer was no, I can't. I'm having to look on my phone to see, because it's not showing up on my computer. So my executive producer is helping me with this. If you don't mind, continue to do that, executive producer lady, so I can comment. I think Facebook is working fine, but I don't see that there's anybody watching on Facebook. It's just the YouTube people aren't showing up on my screen. Okay, we were on number 3 is where we're going on the regular questions. I have a 2002 EZ GO TXT standard, all brand new batteries and cables. The cart takes right off and then progressively loses power. If you remove your foot from the pedal, wait a minute, and it's back to full power, then decreases again. It's a non-PDS system that does not have a run tow switch. Also, when going downhill, it increases speed excessively. Shouldn't it slow down with motor draw? No, not if it's not a PDS. Let's see, at a loss, sure what's looking into Curtis controller, the ITS block. Let's see. All brand new batteries and cables, the cart takes right off and then progressively loses power. Well, I would definitely want to see what your battery voltages are doing when you start to lose power. And if you wait just a minute back to full power, see that could be your batteries are dead, or you got one bad battery, because they can do that when you have one bad cell. Also, when going down a hill, it increases speed excessively. Well, that's because it's not a regenerative braking car, so there's no regenerative braking on the downhill side. So that kind of car will freewheel into eternity, just depending on how big the hill is. Let's see. All right, that was number 3. Let me check Facebook here. Brian Harvey on Facebook. What's up, Brian Harvey? Thanks for stopping by, man. Catherine O'Brien Freeman on Facebook. Hello, Catherine. I don't know if y'all realize this or not, but that's my wife. Let's see. Still trying to see everything. Okay, cool. And so now I've got live chat going on. Correct? Okay, I got live chat going on my phone, so we're going to make it through this. Let's see. Bruce Pionic. Bruce. Okay, I see you, Bruce. Doug Newbecker. What's up, Doug? First timer. Thanks for stopping by, Doug. We come here every week. Let's see. Missy. Hey, Missy, I got you. I see you now. I got it going on now. Let's see. Sorry I'm late. No problem. Doug, swipe your screen. What do you mean, Doug? Is that how I get it back? Didn't work. I did it. Aloha, Tim. What's up, Eddie? You were there, Kirk. Okay, if you were there, then your name was in the swag drawing, Kirk. Let's see. Yes, dear. Keep him informed. Let's see. Doug says I have a 36-volt resistor cart. 36-volt Club Car DS, 6-inch lift and 23-inch tires. Will I need a heavy-duty forward and reverse switch? Yeah, probably. You can see if you develop heat in that forward and reverse switch, you know, just like it is. If you don't develop any heat in it, you don't need one. But if you start developing heat, then that's when you know you have to replace something. Let's see. Might be a quick episode if he sees this. It says live chat. No, I got a button that says top chat. And I already hit that. First time on the live, but love your show. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate it, man. Come back anytime. Let's see. Let's see, Jack 𝗂𝘁𝗁𝗂𝘁, 1991 Club Car DS, rehabbing after hurricane, first time. All right, hey, Jack, that's going to be a pretty big rehab, and I can tell you this, if it did get flooded, don't just think that you need to take it down to the frame or whatever. You don't neglect your axles, because I did that before, and the brakes inside the drums ended up rusting, and they rusted to the point where the drums were locked up because I didn't remove the drums after the car was in the water quick enough. I didn't remove it quick enough. I didn't even think I was going to need to do that. I figured it would dry out once it started spinning. Well, when every cart goes underwater, water gets into those. If you got an axle seal that's not quite sealing very well, it could easily get into that axle seal, and water could get all the way into your rear end. So don't forget about your rear end and your gear oil and your brake drums and your brake shoes in that area if a car is underwater for any period of time whatsoever. Okay, where were we at on regular? Number 4 is where we were at. How can I slow my club car gas model down? When it cranks, it takes off and hope no one's in front of it. It's a rebuilt motor, but I do not know how to slow it down. It sounds like to me, Earl, that you could possibly, since it's a rebuilt motor, that means they got in there and they disconnected pretty much everything that you have, and then they reconnected it back, but a lot of that stuff has an adjustment to it, like your governor. There's a governor on your car. Sounds like to me they might have that governor out of adjustment, because when the governor's too tight, it will tend to affect slow speed driving, you know, in a gas car. It'll make it to where it's hard to go slow. A lot of times in some cars, not all of them, because I've got that G1 right there, I've got the governor tight on it, and it still can go slow. So, but some other cars, some newer model cars, I've found that when you try to adjust the governor to make the car go faster, if you go too far, it will affect the slow speed driving. So that sounds like what you got going on to me. Let's see. Number 5, regular questions. Okay, we have a 1998 used club car, and it won't increase in speed. My son said that it may have been damaged or hit, and the speed sensor got taken off. How do I know what I need to get? Well, you're going to get a speed sensor. It's on the end of the motor. Yeah, you need a speed sensor for sure. If it's got a, you got to get the one. You need to get a speed sensor for a 1998 club car, and that should fix that issue. Okay. Number 6. 1992 club car. The front end seems to be leaning toward one side. The steering box is only connected to the passenger side tie rod. Is it supposed to be connected to the driver's side too? Well, it's connected. It should be. The leaning to one side part is most likely going to be a matter of leaf springs. That's going to be your leaf springs issue. Either you can have it leaning to one side even if it's just the rear leaf springs are weak, because just from someone sitting in the car and for a number of years, just driving around with one passenger in it for a number of years, it can cause your leaf springs to get weak, and your car will start leaning. Now, as far as the steering box goes, some cars are only connected with one steering rod goes to one spindle, but then that spindle is connected all the way across the car to the other spindle. So even though there's only one steering rod, both spindles turn because that spindle's connected with the tie rod all the way to the other spindle. So that's most likely what you have going on there. Let's see, Eddie Rodman. I have a 98 Western, starts in limp mode even with full battery, have to go forward to neutral and back with the forward and reverse on the dashboard to check to go out of limp mode. Okay, so if you've got push button forward and dash on the dashboard, that means that your Western is made out of an EZGO PDS system. Okay, so you're having to push forward and reverse on the dash to check in to go out of limp mode. Yeah, if you've got a, let's see, if I had that on a PDS, if I had that issue on a PDS, and that's really what your car is, it's PDS, an EZGO PDS system. What is your voltage? Because a lot of times Western experimented with a little bit of voltage. They have some 36 volt cars, they have some 42 volt cars, and 48. So where are you at on yours, Eddie? Is it 36? If it's a 98, it's most likely a 36 volt. Anyway, what I was going to say, if I was having those issues on a PDS car, then I would be looking at the speed sensor. That sounds like a speed sensor issue on the end of the motor. That's where I would be checking first, for sure. Let me check over here real quick. Let's see, Rick Sherwood on Facebook. What's up, Rick Sherwood? Thanks for coming by, Rick. 2011 Club Car Precedent. I have a burnt resistor jumper on my solenoid. Six new Trojan batteries, 8 months old, reaching 50 volts. I charge overnight, the cart goes reverse 5 feet, then forward 5 feet from the garage. So I push it back, then I punch it forward and it kills, won't go anywhere. Is it the solenoid problem? I put a high-speed sensor on it. Okay, speed sensor. Put a high-speed sensor on it. Heavy-duty solenoid with new batteries. The cart was flying 28 to 30 for 2 to 3 months. Then I noticed a hot burning smell coming from under the seat, and the resistor on the solenoid was burnt and broke. Now I'm having problems. I also did an OBC reset, but no change. Thanks, Rick. I would say, excuse me, it's your symptoms and everything that you have going on there, to me, could all be explained, including the smell, including the resistor. It could all be explained by a controller going bad. I know that's not good news, but that's where I would. Now, you could, if you wanted to go, you know you're going to have to replace that that resistor, and you might even go ahead and replace that solenoid just to eliminate that as being the issue. But something caused that that resistor to get way too hot, and the only thing that's going to is going to the controller. So I'm very suspicious of that one being your controller, Rick. I know that's not good news. Getting to going into regular drive, I believe the controller. The volts go down to 10 to 15 volts only while pressing the gas pedal. What do you mean, Eddie? What kind of batteries are you running in there if the volts go to 10 to 15 volts while pressing the gas pedal? That doesn't sound right. So you got 4 12s in there, or what? 4 12-volt batteries, Eddie? Yeah, Rick, I hope that's not your problem, but that's what it's sounding like to me. Put you an upgraded controller in there since you got all that, since you got that new magnet and everything. Heavy duty solenoid. What else did you do? Let's see. Oh, the magnet. Okay, I got you. All right. Let's see. Missy says, I finally got the hitch installed on my drive with the OEM Yamaha rear seat kit because they don't make a hitch for the rear seat kits, as you know. Okay, cool. And does it work out good? Because it might get you to might figure out how you can send me some pictures or something. And I made an appointment video call with you already. All right, cool. Yeah, because I want to get some photos, which I may share on. I'll share the photos in the live and show other people, because there's going to be people, a lot of people that want to do the exact same thing that you did. Number 7 on the regular questions. 2000 EZ GO TXT gas cart won't start forward or reverse. I just replaced the left rear hub. What could be the issue? Won't shift forward or reverse. Well, I don't think the hub is related, if that's what you're getting at, because the rear hub is not going to have anything to do with your shifter cable. I mean, on a gas cart, you've got a shifter cable. And if you'll open the seat and look at the back side of your shifter, you'll see that there's a cable, and it goes all the way back to the rear end, on top of the rear end, to a point that moves a lever that shifts from forward to reverse. So something's going on between your shifter and that point on top of the rear end, where you can find there'll be an arm that cable's connected to, that when you shift from forward to reverse, it moves that arm. So that's what you need to be looking at to see if there's a problem there. But see if you can manually just grab that arm with your hand, see if you can force it to shift into forward or reverse, because it must not be moving far enough, or the shifter cable's broke or something. Let's see. Greg Elliott, hey Greg, hey Tim and everybody. Thanks Tim for the coupon codes. It was a nice savings on the 48-volt EZGO lithium battery and heavy duty solenoid I got at Golf Cart Garage this morning. Greg, I actually saw your order. They showed it to me. Anytime somebody places a relatively large order, you know, we show it to everybody. So thank you very much for your order. I'm glad. And by the way, I don't know, like I had a couple of people tell me that the TIM 10 code did not work for them. They haven't found anything wrong with it, but Greg just used it today on his lithium pack, and it definitely worked for him. He saved quite a bit of money on, you know, because it was a large order. He saved a good bit of money on that by using the TIM 10 code. So thank you, Greg. I appreciate it, and I did see your order. Okay. Oh, that's right. I'm on number 8. I couldn't remember where I was at. Let me save number 8. See if I can catch up on some of the chat here. Joe Francis, what's up, Joe? Just changed lead acid to lithium. Batteries came with battery charge state reader. Are they specific to the battery maker, or could I get a different one with a different readout or shape? They're going to probably be specific to the battery maker. Now, they're definitely going to be specific to lithium. I mean, you can't use a lead acid battery indicator on a lithium, or vice versa. It will not be accurate. But they're probably going to be very specific to even the lithium manufacturer, because they're all real strict about how they want their BMS to work and how they want it to function with the safety protocols that they have to put into the battery packs. I mean, lithium's a very complicated system. It really is. But they're also very cool. Let's see. Reaching out in error to find the perfect solution. This is a bolt on and bolt off anytime. That's all right, Missy, cool. Also, thanks for 𝗓𝗋 for helping me get the price match. 𝗓𝗋 is the man, Greg. I don't know if you know that, but he is the man. He's a very high-end key player in this company. He helps. 𝗓𝗋 is one of the people that help me before I go on the episodes twice a week. I talk with 𝗓𝗋 twice a week, at least twice a week. So shout out to 𝗓𝗋. I've been thought it was the controller the whole time because it won't go in reverse either. Yeah, it probably is, because on your system, if it's a push button 36-volt system, that means that your controller is involved with the direction the motor goes. Your controller is part of the forward and reverse thing. The polarity gets changed to your motor to go in reverse by the controller. You know, it's not by the button, you know, like the push button that you were talking about. Just replace the solenoids and all are clicking fine. The cart struggles to go uphill. Batteries are at 6.2. Let's see. Well, see, Doug, you're running that 36-volt resistor cart that I think at the beginning of the episode I said that I wouldn't recommend lifting a 36-volt resistor cart. And you can, and it will work, but those resistors are going to get hot. And when they start getting hot, your cart starts becoming more and more inefficient as they get hotter and hotter. And the taller tires are making them get even hotter than normal. So that could explain your power loss, is what I'm saying. Let's see. Yeah, most lithium packs do have a dedicated meter. That's correct. Missy, I'll check into that and see if that is the case, because it did work for Greg, and I've seen it work a couple of more times for some other people. No, Doug, it's not the fact that you raised your cart. It's not the fact that you raised it. It's the fact that you put taller tires on it. That's what is hurting you. That you put taller tires. The lift doesn't change anything. It's the taller tires that changes it too much. So, and like I said about the forward and reverse switch, if you're not developing heat in your forward and reverse switch, then there's no reason to change it. Now, most people that do a lift kit on a series wound car, they do eventually go with a heavy duty forward and reverse switch. Now, you could do that for sure. Like I said, most people do, but most people that do this, it was a controller cart that they lifted, not a resistor cart. So you've got a couple of things going on there that's hurting you. And the worst part is your resistor system is what's hurting you. Let's see. I was hoping to get round versus rectangle, Joe Francis. Oh, I see what you're saying. You wanted a round, a battery thing. Well, call your lithium company. See if they have an alternative. You know, but like I said, I think they're going to be very specific about their charge indicators. Is there 6 volt produced on an 36 volt EZGO Trojans? Yes, 6.6. Well, see, you have six 6-volt batteries, Eddie, in your car. You have 6 6-volt batteries. If you put a voltmeter on each one, then it should be around 6 point something volts each one. If you put a voltmeter across your whole pack, then you should show 36 volts at least, 36, 37, something like that. That would be across your whole pack. So that's why I'm asking you about, what are you talking about, the 10 to 15 volt part? If you're dropping 10 to 15 volts across your, down to 10 to 15 volts while pressing on the accelerator pedal across your whole pack, then your batteries are just beyond toast. They're dead. They're completely dead. Kurt says, Doug, if he were you, he'd start carrying a fire extinguisher. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, Doug. It's just my opinion. I mean, I know it can be done. You can put a lift kit on a resistor car. I just don't recommend it, and I'd never recommended it to my customers. Yeah, if you're down to 10 to 15 volts, Eddie, if that's across your whole pack, that's not good at all. They will never come back from that, probably. It doesn't hurt to try, but I doubt you could ever get them back. They were charged for a whole year, so a kind of trickle charge to revive the batteries. I was afraid of having to replace the batteries. Yeah, you may have to, Eddie, if that's really the voltages that you're getting. Let's see. Cool. All right. No, yeah, that's right. I had put number 8 on hold. Number 8, I have a gas golf cart. When I turn the key on and push the pedal, all I hear is a clicking sound. Well, that's gas golf cart. Well, that's, if it's an audible clicking sound, like you can hear it really easily, it's probably your solenoid. I mean, because a gas cart has a starter solenoid also. And that solenoid clicks and the starter starts turning over, but those two things happen like simultaneously. So you normally, on a gas cart, you normally don't hear the solenoid click. The reason is because as soon as it does, the starter generator's turning in exactly the same time, and then all you hear is the motor spinning over. So right now, if you're hearing the solenoid click, you got a couple of things it could be. We know your pedal stop switch is working, or the solenoid wouldn't be clicking. So everything is working all the way up to your solenoid. So you either have a bad solenoid or your starter generator is bad. It's not working. Thanks, Tim and Rock Dog from Joe. Cool. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Number 9. Our batteries keep corroding, causing the wires to break in two. Any idea What could cause this? Maybe just time for new batteries. This is from Bardi. Well, I've said it before on these episodes about water in the batteries. You got people that put too much water in the batteries. You got people that don't put enough in the batteries, and then you got people that do it right, which is basically halfway between the lead plate and the top. Don't fill to the top on an electric golf cart. Don't fill to the top with water, because if you do, you're going to end up having water come out of the top, because the water level rises a little bit during the charge cycle. So if you don't have it, it doesn't have any room to go. If it's filled to the top, and then you charge your cart, it's going to come out of the top, and it's going to go to the first metal it can find, which is going to be your battery cables and your battery post. So once that starts, you can clean it off. But once it starts and it starts repeating and the same thing happens over and over again, most likely what is happening is that corrosion is going inside these insulation on the battery wire. You got corrosion on the inside. So you can only cut off so much cable and put a new end on it, so many times before the cable's too short. So you may have to replace your cables. But to keep any of this from starting is just to not overfill your batteries. Just make sure that your lead plates are under the distilled water only. Only use distilled water and cover the lead plates and give that water level room to rise and room to fall, and the lead plates still be underwater. That's the correct level. Just I guess it's about a 1/4 inch above the lead plate. Okay. Looks like it's time for the lithium. I have put new brushes on the motor. Will I need a new motor if I switch to battery? No, you don't need a new. No, that motor would love a lithium battery. Yeah, you don't need a new motor. You don't got to switch your motor to go lithium. Now, are you talking about putting lithium with those resistors though? Because, I mean, if you really want my opinion, I wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't lift a resistor car, and I wouldn't put lithium in a resistor car, because lithium is going to make that motor work even harder, just like the taller tires are. If you really want to keep that car, what I would do is convert it. I would convert that car over to a more modern electrical system, like convert it to a Club Car IQ or something like that, and then put you a 48-volt lithium in there and hit that 36-volt series motor with a 48-volt. Well, no, you couldn't do that, could you? If you converted to IQ, you'd have to change the motor. Well, you could convert it to a Club Car that's not that is a series wound electrical system, like anywhere between number of years that you could get a series wound electrical system. Convert it to that, and then you could keep that motor and hit that motor with 48. It just depends on what your goals are here. If you're wanting speed, then that would be a pretty good system. DS series wound electrical system, and hit that 36-volt motor with 48 volts. That would be a pretty good system. Or go all the way to Club Car IQ, and then you'd have a regenerative, or you'd have a more modern version of the most modern version electrical system, and parts readily available, and you'd have everything you needed there. You'd have a reliable car. So you got a couple of choices, but I wouldn't recommend putting a lithium on that resistor system, just like I wouldn't recommend lifting it. Let's see. Be a mess with lithium. Do you have to use it to be a mess with lithium? I think usually the motor you already have work with lithium battery already. No, Eddie, the modern day lithium systems for golf carts, they have integrated BMS. BMS stands for Battery Management System. Well, they're so scared about people not using their batteries correctly that all modern day, I'm not going to say all of them, but most golf cart drop-in plug-and-play lithium battery pack systems have an integrated BMS. You don't even know it's there. It's internal, and it takes care of the voltages and to every cell. So lithium battery swap will not harm your motor. Okay. We're still going. Let's see. Number 10, the last scheduled question. This is from 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗲. I think I had a question from 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗲 already in this episode. This is the second 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗲 question. To recharge dead 8-volt batteries with a car charger, I only have two options, 12-volt 10 amp or 12-volt 40 amp. Which should I use? I plan to monitor during the charging, and I can start with 10 minutes and go up to 30 minutes if needed or more. Right now, each battery is below 3 volts, but the batteries are only a few years old. Okay, well then go with the lowest setting for sure. Go with the 12-volt 10 amp. What I would do, go with 12-volt 10 amp for about 15 minutes, then take it off. Like set you a timer for 15 minutes or so, then see where you're at on the voltage. See what that got you. If that didn't get you enough or didn't get you very much, then go with 30 minutes. You have to, definitely wouldn't use that 40 amp setting. You got to understand, you're already doing it wrong, you know, by using 12 amp, 10 amp. That's already technically electrically wrong. You shouldn't be trying to charge a 8-volt battery with a 12-volt charger, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes you got to use what you got to work with. So it will work, but you just got to be careful. Don't walk away. Set yourself a timer for about, like I said, 15, 30 minutes. See where that got you, and then come back and move to the next battery. And eventually you'll get them all up to a point where your normal charger should start turning on by itself, and then that'll take it over. Okay, let me run social media links one more time. There they are, they're running. If you want to follow us somewhere else. Let me turn those off. Even car batteries that are listed have a BMS inside. Yes, that is true. They have a BMS because you know how a 12-volt battery has it's got 6 holes in it. Okay, 6 fill holes, or an 8-volt battery has 4 fill holes. Each one of those holes is a 2-volt battery. All right. Well, a lithium pack is going to have a whole bunch of small batteries in them. Just like that. See that your big 12-volt battery is actually 6 2-volt batteries. If you think about it like that, a 12-volt battery is actually 6 2-volt batteries in series, all in this case, in one case, and you got one 12-volt battery, but there's actually 6 2-volt batteries, okay? Inside a lithium pack, there's multiple small batteries with multiple connections of series and parallel inside, especially if you've got one of those big 48-volt lithium batteries. Well, every one of those single cell batteries, every one of those has wires connected to it. So every one can be backward connected to the BMS. Every single one of those batteries is connected to the BMS, which can see what's going on in every single cell. And that's how important it is for a lithium pack to be balanced, that every single cell is run back to the BMS, which controls the voltage and controls how much this one gets charged and makes sure that everything is operating normally. It's a pretty complicated system. The batteries are very cool. Missy, should we remind Tim? Oh, yeah. I see. You might have to this week because I'm having to look at my phone for y'all's comments, and because it's not showing up on the OBS screen. But no, I got you. I'm there. Let's see. I'm gonna run the coupon again first, and then we'll get to the tip. Let's see. Well, there it is. This is a coupon that Greg used today, so it did work for Greg today. Get 5% off any parts you order at Golf Cart Garage if you use coupon code TIM10, TIM10 at checkout at golfcartgarage.com. This expires on the 18th, so the day after tomorrow. I'll get another one after that, but this particular one's going to expire on the 18th in a couple of days. So just remember that, TIM10 for the next couple of days if anybody wants to save 5% off any parts you order. And it does not say $100 or $200, so I'm gonna have to check on that, Missy. Again, still can't figure out why it didn't work for you. Still hadn't got that figured out. And someone else, it didn't work for them too. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Rock Dog or somebody said it didn't work for them either, but it worked for Greg today. That's all I know for sure. All right. Now the title of this episode was Should I Left a 36-volt resistor system? And we've been talking with, Doug that did, and he's having some power issues and lots of other issues. So my thoughts on should you left a 36-volt, I think I've made it clear, is no, I don't think you should. I think it's going to cause you more trouble than it would be worth. Doug, factory style IQ conversion kit for Club Car DS 36-volt, 48-volt series. That's two complete different types of electrical systems. Either an IQ conversion kit is what you need to do. You need to convert your car to IQ and then stay with IQ all the way. And that's not going to be a series system. That's not a series system. Series system would be like you don't have push button forward and reverse switch. You've got a mechanical forward and reverse switch, and you have no regenerative braking in a series system. So that's your two choices on the conversion. Now on the IQ conversion, you're also going to have to update your potentiometer to an M-core. So that means pre-M-core to M-core conversion kit. So that's actually another $500 and something just for the M-core, pre-M-core to M-core conversion kit. That's your potentiometer. Your potentiometer that you have in there now is not going to work with an IQ system. And in fact, it's not going to work with the series system, because let's say it may work with a series system. I don't know. You get into that during the conversion, but yeah, that's your two choices definitely for doing the conversion. Yeah, Rock Dog, now you're known as the winner. The winner of this bag of swag. Okay. Oh, today's tip, we've already talked about it. It has to do with the battery question. The charging the dead 8-volt battery with a 12-volt charger. The tip is you're already doing something electrically that's technically wrong by trying to charge an 8-volt battery with a 12-volt charger. So don't put it on the big amp setting. Leave it on the smaller amp setting. 12 volts, 10 amp would be fine. Monitor it and don't walk away. That's this week's tip. Okay. Let's see. Let me check Facebook again. Looks like we're cool on Facebook. Yeah, we got through it. I'll have to get this worked out where my chat's not showing up on my computer screen all of a sudden, but we made it through. I will see everybody on Thursday at 12 noon Central Time. Everybody please come back. We'll talk about this again. We'll go through all this again. Rock Dog says he's usually the other end of the spectrum instead of a winner. Well, your life has changed, Rock Dog. You're now a rock star because you won the bag of swag. I appreciate you coming here, Rock Dog, and Missy and everybody else. Even the new people, thank you all for coming. We will see y'all again on Thursday. I am out of here. Everybody have a good next couple of days till we meet again. Garage is now closed.